Have you ever heard your friends say things like, "Hey, I just bought some crypto. Do you know how to use Binance? I made enough from Bitcoin to buy a Tesla." And you are just sitting there like, what are these people even talking about? Can you really make money from this? Or is it just one big bubble waiting to pop? Don't worry, today's video is made just for you. I'm going to break everything down in the simplest way possible, starting from zero. What exactly is Bitcoin? Why do people call it digital gold? And wait, did the US government really stock up on Bitcoin behind the scenes? Is that for real? Let's dive in. This content is for informational purpose only. All information is compiled from public available sources and doesn't constitute financial advice. The cryptocurrency market is highly volatile. Please do your own research and evaluate the risks carefully before investing. Neither this channel nor the creator is responsible for any investment decision you make. Invest at your own risk. You heard that right. In March 2025, US President Donald Trump officially included Bitcoin as part of the nation's strategic reserve asset. Yet, you are not dreaming. According to public records, the US government currently holds around 200,000 Bitcoins. That's enough to make Uncle Sam one of the biggest whales in the entire crypto space. And get this, at a recent crypto summit, Trump even made a bold statement about it.
The federal government is already among the largest holders of Bitcoin, as you know, really one of the largest holders in the world, with as many as 200,000 Bitcoin obtained via civil law and various other forms of law, and including enforcement actions. These existing holdings will form the foundation of the new reserve. Unfortunately, in recent years, the U.S. government has foolishly sold tens of thousands of additional Bitcoin that were worth billions and billions of dollars had they not sold them, but they did sell them, mostly during the Biden administration. Not a good thing to have done. From this day on, America will follow the rule that every Bitcoin knows very well: never sell your Bitcoin. That's a little phrase that they have. I don't know if that's right or not. Who the hell knows, right? Who knows? Who knows? But so far, it's been right. And well, let's keep it that way.
Sure, his speech was a bit vague, but one thing's for sure. Bitcoin is no longer just a breakout for young speculators. It's now a financial asset that governments around the world are starting to take seriously. Bitcoin has officially stepped onto the global stage. Right now, Bitcoin makes up about 63% of the total crypto market cap. It's like the S&P 500 in the US stock market, representing the largest and the most influential companies. When Bitcoin moves, the entire crypto market feels it. Its market cap, liquidity, and global recognition are far beyond any other crypto. When Bitcoin price goes up, it often lifts the entire crypto market, including Ethereum, altcoins, and more. In 2008, a person or group using the name Satoshi Nakamoto suddenly appeared on a cryptography forum and published a white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. To this day, no one knows who Satoshi really is. They may be Japanese or not. They may not even be a single person. It remains one of the biggest mysteries in tech history. Coincidentally, it happened right during the 2008 global financial crisis. Banks was collapsing, stock market were crashing, government were printing money like crazy to bail out the system. Watching all of this unfold, Satoshi Nakamoto may have been thinking, so now we have a new kind of financial system, one that doesn't rely on bank or government. He came up with an idea to use math and code to create a form of money that is transparent, open to everyone, and impossible to control. On January 3, 2009, he mined the very first block on the Bitcoin network, known as Genesis block, and hidden within that block was a powerful message. On January 3, 2009, the Times reported that the chancellor was about to launch a second bank bailout, a subtle but clear reminder. Bitcoin was born as a response to the failure of the traditional financial system. Satoshi designed Bitcoin with a few key features. Limited supply, only 21 million will ever exist. Open mining, anyone can participate. No banks required, send money peer-to-peer. Transparent and tamper-proof. All transactions are public and cannot be faked. Decentralized. No single authority can shut it down or confiscate it. This digital gold slowly started catching the world's attention. Around 2010, Satoshi handed over the project to the other developers and then mysteriously disappeared from the internet, never to be heard from again. His final message to the developer community was simple: I have moved on to other things. Just like that, a shuttle-like genius quietly exited the stage, leaving behind Bitcoin to fuel a global financial revolution. What about now? Today, hundreds of millions of people around the world use cryptocurrency. Bitcoin has become now an inflation hedge, a store of value, and even a side hustle. And it all started with late 2008 financial crisis and a broad idea from a mysterious, unknown figure. Bitcoin has 6 key features. The number one is decentralized. Imagine an asset that is not controlled by any government. No one can shut it down or manipulate it. Unlike your money in the bank, which is managed by central banks or governments, Bitcoin operates independently. When central banks print more money, the value of what you hold gets diluted. But with Bitcoin, there's no single authority that can turn it off or decide to print more as well. It runs on code, not control. Imagine you want to send money to a friend with traditional banks. The process looks like this. Give the money to the bank. The bank transfers the money for you, deducts the handling fee, transfers the money to your friend's bank account. Now, if it's an international transfer, it's even more complicated. Give the money to the bank. The bank contacts the intermediary bank, usually more than one. The intermediary bank then contacts your friend's bank. Each step may charge a handling fee. Wait for several days. Finally, the money arrives in your friend's account. Each stop may charge a fee, and the whole thing could take 1 to 5 business days, depending on the country, currency, and banking system. You also need to fill out tons of information, like SWIFT code, bank address, account numbers. And if you make a mistake, it could get rejected. And yes, you may be charged again. Now compare that with the Bitcoin. You send it directly to your friend. No bank, no third parties, near instant, almost no fees. That's the powerful of decentralization. No need to trust governments, central bank, or financial platforms. No risk of frozen accounts. You are in full control. Decentralization gives you 100% control of your assets, but there is the catch. You also take on 100% of the responsibility. Like the saying goes, with great freedom comes great responsibility. Nowhere is this more true than in crypto. Lose your private key equal to lose your assets. In the world of crypto, your money is not protected by a username and password. It's secured by a private key, like the only key to your personal vault. Lose it, and there's no customer support to help you recover it. According to chain analysts, around 3.7 million bitcoins worth $300 billion are likely lost forever. Why? Because people forget their password or lost access to their wallets. Bitcoin transactions are irreversible. There's no customer support line to undo that. If you mistype an address or copy the wrong wallet, the coins will still go through, but the recipient may not be who you intended. End result, your money is gone, and there's no way to get it back. In the world of crypto, scams are constantly evolving. New techniques emerge all the time, targeting both beginners and experienced users alike. You may receive an email or link to a site that looks exactly like your crypto exchange. You enter your wallet information, and boom. Scammers drain your entire wallet in seconds. Call the police, talk to bank, totally useless. In crypto, poor cybersecurity equal to game over. But things got even crazier on February 21, 2025. The well-known crypto exchange Bybit, based in Dubai, was hacked by the largest crypto hack in history. Over 400,000 Ethereum, worth about 1.5 billion at that time, was stolen. This was not just a crypto heist. It ranked among the biggest financial thieves ever, even bigger than most traditional bank heists, which rarely crossed the 1 billion mark. Hackers targeted a vulnerability in Bybit's multi-signature wallet system. By secretly installing malware, they manipulated the signing process of transaction and successfully diverted funds into their own wallet. After the FBI stepped in, investigators confirmed the attack was carried out by a North Korean hacking group. This group has been linked to multiple major crypto attacks in the past. Their goal found North Korea's nuclear weapon program. The stolen crypto was quickly sent through a web of intermediate wallet and decentralized exchanges. They also used cross-chain bridge to obscure the origin of funds, trying to launder the money and convert it into fiat currency. Bybit CEO immediately addressed the incident, stating, despite the major loss, the exchange tapped into emergency funds from partners to fully cover the missed asset and ensure that user funds remain safe. Even platforms with cold wallet protection and multi-signature security can still be hacked. Even institutions that claim to use cold wallets and multi-signature security are not immune. Just one tiny vulnerability can lead to a full-blown breach. In the world of crypto, there's no such thing as 100% safety, only how well you are prepared. Some people use hard wallets, only to have their account hacked. Others use cold wallets, but set them up so complicated they forget the passwords or PIN codes, unable to access the wallet. All their efforts wasted. So here's the takeaway. Decentralization means you are not controlled, but it also means you are not protected. In the world of cryptocurrency, trust no longer comes from institutions, but from code. If you want to enjoy freedom, you must learn to protect yourself. All Bitcoin transactions are recorded on the blockchain, a public ledger. You can check every Bitcoin transaction online, but you can see who made the transaction. So it's both transparent and private. Like knowing someone is transferring money but not seeing their real name. How to understand blockchain technology. Imagine blockchain as a contact book that never disappears, but instead of being kept by a teacher, it's managed by thousands of computers worldwide. These computers are called nodes, or mining rigs. Every time you make a Bitcoin transaction, the record is added to a new page in the contact book, and once it's written, no one can alter it. So, what happens if a hack wants to alter the record? They will have to hack more than half of the global nodes at the same time, which is called a 51 attack. The difficulty of this is comparable to conquering the world. How many nodes will they need to control? As of now, there are over 15,000 nodes globally distributed across different countries. In other words, a hacker will need to control over 7,500 nodes simultaneously to make changes to the blockchain. This is nearly impossible in practice, which is why Bitcoin network is so secure. Imagine this as a class contact book where everyone written together. If someone secretly tries to change the record of not handing in their homework, it will immediately be noticed and controlled by the other students. This is blockchain. Everyone keeps a ledger and no one can alter it. Currently, cryptocurrency databases have target user interface, but there have not been any successful attacks on the main transaction network. Whether you are in Taiwan, the United States, or Africa, as long as you have internet, you can send and receive Bitcoin. 24/7 transfers, not restricted by banking hours. Limited supply, only 21 million total. This is one of Bitcoin's most famous features. It's a deflationary asset. They cannot be endlessly printed. That is one reason why it's called digital gold. So how is it similar to gold? Gold's characteristics include once mined, it's gone. There's a fixed global supply. You can print more. It can be divided into tiny units, like a gram or an ounce. Bitcoin follows the same idea. Total supply is permanently capped at 21 million coins. The smallest unit is called Satoshi. One Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million Satoshis. So even you can't afford a whole Bitcoin, you can buy just one Satoshi, which is worth about 0.00073 United States dollars. In theory, yes, but most exchanges have a minimum purchase of around $1. And using the layer 1 network can cost more in fees than the amount you are transferring. Bitcoin is like gold world 2. Not only is it scarce, it's also instantly transferable, easy to store, and divisible down to tiny units. It's basically gold upgraded. As of now, over 90% of Bitcoin have already been mined. The rest will get harder and harder to mine, with fewer rewards over time. Imagine this. More and more people want to buy Bitcoin, but the supply doesn't increase. What happens to the price? You get the idea. Once Bitcoin is sent, it cannot be cancelled or retrieved. There's no such thing as a chargeback or customer support refund, so be extra cautious. If you send it to the wrong address, it's gone for good. Original Bitcoin transaction take about 10 minutes to 1 hour to confirm, but with the Lightning Network, you can complete transaction in just seconds with ultra low fees. So, How can we use Bitcoin? We can use Bitcoin to store of value. Just like gold, some people buy Bitcoin to hold it long-term as a hedge against inflation, especially when global currencies are losing value, or international transfers. Imagine you are working abroad and want to send money back to your country. Traditional banks charge high fees and take several days, but with Bitcoin, it takes about 10 minutes, and the fees is just a few dollars. Or investing and trading. Many people made their first fortune with Bitcoin, and some lost it all. Its price swings are huge. That's exactly why people have a love-hate relationship with it. So now that it is 2025, how can we actually get our hands on some Bitcoin? The first and the easiest way is to simply buy it with money. You can hop on an exchange like Binance US, OKX, or Coinbase, and buy Bitcoin directly on these global platforms. The second way is through mining. This means using powerful computers to help verify transactions and earn Bitcoin as a reward. But with NVIDIA graphics cards getting more and more expensive, the cost has gone up a lot. So it's not that easy for individual miners to get started anymore. The third way is to accept Bitcoin as payment. For example, if you run a restaurant or sell products or service, you can choose to accept Bitcoin from customers as a form of payment. And since we are talking about Bitcoin, we have to mention something called Bitcoin halving. Roughly every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that gets created is cut in half automatically. That means miners who used to earn 6.25 Bitcoin per block will only get 3.125 Bitcoin after the halving. This design helps prevent inflation. If too much Bitcoin flows the market, the value could drop. Just like gold, the harder it is to dig up, the more valuable it becomes. And what impact does halving have? Well, history shows that every time halving happens, Bitcoin's price tag of life is on an energy drink. In 2016, 2020, and even 2024, Bitcoin hit new all-time highs after each halving. After the 2024 halving, it even surpassed 100,000. We can guarantee the same will happen again. Market usually start hyping things up long before the halving even happens. So a lot of people are already watching the next halving date closely. Today, Bitcoin is no longer just a digital currency. It's a challenge to the traditional financial system, a decentralization revolution in how we store and transfer value. Whether you are a skeptic or a supporter, one thing's for sure, Bitcoin is not going away anytime soon. So make sure to subscribe to me, Crypto Bro, for weekly updates and the hottest news in the crypto world.